As we begin tonight with disturbing testimony of the very first day of the Jerry Sandusky trial.
An alleged victim, now a 28-year-old man, took the stand in Center County and described in graphic detail what he says Sandusky did to him over a 5-year period. We brought you extensive live coverage throughout the day. Here to wrap it all up tonight is our Megan Healy. Megan.
Well, good evening, Alan, Alicia. Yeah, this is why a lot of people thought Jerry Sandusky might take a plea to avoid having to hear him and his family hear all of that graphic testimony. But that's exactly what happened here today on day one, and it was incredibly vivid.
Jerry Sandusky walked out of court at 5 p.m. sharp looking tired. But there's still a long way to go for the former Penn State coaching legend. The first of 8 accusers took the stand on day one. A 28-year-old man known as Victim 4 spent hours laying out detailed and graphic testimony about his relationship with the man he once considered a mentor. He described a, quote, creepy letter he once got from Sandusky that reads, "I know I've made my share of mistakes. However, I hope I will be able to say that I cared. There has been love in my heart. My wish is that you care and that you have love in your heart. Love never ends. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. I believe that it can overcome all things. Love, Jerry." Defense attorney Joanne Mendola has maintained this is how his client interacts with children and that nothing sexual ever happened, but not according to Victim 4. He says after meeting Sandusky as a preteen at a Second Mile camp, he started getting invites to picnics and football games. Afterwards, Sandusky would sometimes shower with him. Contact began with wrestling and soap wars, but eventually oral sex. Later on in his teen years, Victim 4 says he began distancing himself from Sandusky. He says he never told anyone because he was embarrassed and he thought he was the only one this happened to.
It's terrifying. It's shame, guilt.
Paul Tremmel works with Pennsylvania Coalition Against Rape. As a former abuse victim himself, he says keeping it a secret is common.
It's very difficult for someone to come forward, just to tell someone, let alone become public in such a large manner.
And in opening statements today, Joanne Mendola urged the jurors not to consider these accusers victims because you can't consider someone a victim unless there's been a conviction. Now, he also hinted that Sandusky himself may take the stand to explain why he thought it was normal to shower with kids. Back to you.
Would be amazing if Jerry Sandusky took the stand. But, Megan, we've mentioned today 8 accusers, but in all, Sandusky's allegedly molested 10 boys. What's the discrepancy there?
That's a great question, Alicia. Yeah, those are alleged victims 2 and 8. They have never come forward. Prosecutors don't know who they are, but you may recall they were both alleged victims who were observed by eyewitnesses being molested in Penn State locker rooms. One of those eyewitnesses, Mike McQuarrie, former assistant coach Mike McQuarrie, expected to take the stand. In the other case, it was a janitor who now has dementia and will not be able to take the stand. And Joey Mendola actually argued to have those charges thrown out. That was last week, or excuse me, 2 weeks ago, and the judge denied that because prosecutors say they do have evidence elsewhere to prove that that happened. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Megan Healy live in Center County. Thank you so much.